know what a grand solar minimum is. There are many examples in the past of times when the sun's activity has declined. For a sustained period of time. We have not had such a period in over 100 years. Recently, the sun has been very active up until very recently. So our climate has been very stable most of the 20th century. The last really sustained solar minimum was back in the early 1800s. Late 1600s, there was an even bigger one. So to figure out what would happen to the climate, we have to go back to those time periods and look at what the weather was like back then. Figure out how our climate would be affected now. The one in the 1600s was a number of decades with no solar activity. Glaciers advanced in Europe, down the valleys, and actually it was a worldwide cooling of the climate that occurred during that period. Glaciers surged forward worldwide during that time period. There is a lot of talk now about a grand solar minimum, but we're not really in one yet. The glaciers have not surged forward. However, the weather patterns are changing because we've had 1 week solar cycle that was the weakest in over 100 years. And that is starting to impact our climate. Making it less stable, making it more unpredictable. For example, we now have a storm hitting the West Coast. Normally in California, the rainy season ends by May 1st, or late April usually. The rains in California are over until the following season. But the rainy season this year has extended well into May. A series of storms going to be impacting the West Coast, so the rainy season is lagging on for an extra month this year. These weather patterns began in 2007. The last solar minimum, and then around 2012 we hit a week maximum, but it was enough to stave off what was beginning to happen in 2007. But now that we're back at another minimum, things are starting to get more unstable again the last few years here. In Greenland, the ice has started to grow. The Arctic sea ice hasn't begun to grow yet because there is a long-term lag to that. The oceans still have a lot of heat left in them, and it's still circulating up into the Arctic right now. The currents are still carrying leftover warm water up there, and that is why we have not seen yet an increase in ice up there. May not for a few more years. The glaciers worldwide have begun inching forward again in many places. Research I've done. But so far they have not yet surged forward like they did in 1600. And this is why I bring out we're not really in a grain solar minimum quite yet. We have to see what cycle 25 is going to do. If we don't get a cycle 25 and activity remains very low like it's been the last few years, it doesn't go back up to another max for 25, then I'd say we might be going into one, perhaps. If that happens, global temperatures are going to take a nosedive in the next few years, if that scenario plays out. But it would likely take several decades for the glaciers to start surging forward again. But once they do, it's going to be a very dramatic situation. Especially in Europe and the Alps, if that happens again. You know that lately the Alps have gotten lots and lots of snow. Eventually it's going to lead to an advance of those glaciers if it continues. Of course, agriculture is going to take a serious hit, especially in places like Canada and Russia, Northern Europe. Now, that's if we don't get a solar cycle 25. If we do get a week like the last one, we may have a few more years yet before things really start taking a nosedive. That it may stave things off a little longer, because even though the cycle is weak, it might still add just enough energy to stabilize things for a couple of years. Now, if 25 turns out to be stronger, we come out of this, then climate's going to go back to the way it was in the 20th century. It's going to get stabilized. As like what happened in 1980, we got cycle 21 was a pretty healthy, strong cycle that followed a weak one. So the cooling of the 70s ended, 60s and 70s ended with that cycle. Then in 1983, El Chichon in Mexico erupted, and that kind of cooled things a little bit for a couple of years. Yeah, Panatubo in 91 that erupted and cooled things during that period for a few years. Yeah, Mount St. Helens in 1980 that led to a slightly cooler, even though it was a Solar Max, that kind of took the edge off of it a bit. The warm-up that occurred during cycle 21. So now we're waiting to see what's going to happen with cycle 25. Is it going to come? And if it comes, how strong is it going to be? It's pretty critical because we're coming off a weak cycle. We have not had 2 consecutive weak cycles in over 100 years. And the last time we even had 1 weak cycle was cycle 20 in 1970. Before this week one we had back in 2012. So yes, a lot is going to depend on what this next cycle does as to where the climate goes next. But for the next couple of years, this weather is going to likely continue. And we're seeing this lag of a whole month later than usual as the rainy season has extended for an extra month at least in California, maybe even go into June. Which means the snowpack in the Sierras is going to stick around a lot longer, which is good news for fire season. They're not going to have a very bad fire season in California this year, likely because this rainy season is extending. It's almost into summer. Usually it's over before May begins. Of course, if it rains, it means cooler temperatures. It's worse snow in the Sierras even now for the fall. The rest of the country means that severe weather season is going to extend later. Into June, perhaps. In Maine, they received more measurable snow in northern Maine the last couple of days. It's the middle of May, even there, they normally don't get measurable snow in May. So in Maine, the season for snowfall has lingered on several more weeks beyond than what it usually goes up to. So we're beginning to see a cooling of the climate. It's pretty evident. The big question is, what's 25 going to do? That's going to really answer a lot as to whether this cooling continues and gets worse, or it stabilizes, or it reverses. As you can see around in this video, the snow level on the mountain peaks around here quite low right now. It's the middle of May, and the snow still goes halfway down. valley almost. Cycle 25 is not due to begin until I believe next year. We're still awaiting the beginning of solar cycle 25. How that plays out is going to really answer whether cooling deepens or not. Now coming up to the US Highway 6 split here. We'll be continuing on 15 south. Go further on to even the present climate with all the floods. The problem with this weather pattern is people are not going to come back far enough, because the last time the sun had 2 consecutive week cycles was in the early 1900s. Glaciers did advance during that time period. Briefly. And the weather became a lot more unstable. A lot of the weather records that are being broken now by this weather were set back then. So that time period provides a clue as to where the weather is going now. To look back to the early 1900s to see what the weather was like, provide clues to current weather patterns we're going to see. That is my discussion on where I think the climate is going to go. I don't have a definite answer at this point. It is definitely cooling, though, at present. Contrary to what the news media has been bringing out. There are 372 more miles to Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm going to be stopping for lunch within about the next hour or so. Not sure exactly where yet. 253 Utah 164. It's a 250. There's lodging, quality inn, gas, food part. Food, there's a McDonald's, Taco Thai, menu, Subway. Utah 115, Taysom.